Hi, I'm Ben Charlin, and I'm Don Papa Rum's man on the ground here in Sugarlandia. Now, what we call Sugarlandia is actually the island of Negros here in the Philippines. Don Papa Rum is produced here on the island, and that's because this is where we get our sugarcane in order to make the rum. Now, sugarcane has been the predominant industry on this island for over 100 years. In fact, this area is the sugar capital of the Philippines.
In this series, we'll dive deeper into the history and culture of Sugarlandia, from the historic ancestral homes of the early 20th century to the famous heritage recipes that have been handed down through the generations. From the peaks of the mighty volcano Mount Canlaon to the artisans and entrepreneurs changing the creative and business landscape. Follow us as we pull back the curtain on a place that isn't always what it seems, as we take you on a journey with tales of Sugarlandia.
I'm Ben Charlin, and I'm Don Papa Rum's man on the ground here in Sugarlandia. Now, what we call Sugarlandia is actually the island of Negros here in the Philippines. Don Papa Rum is produced here on the island, and that's because this is where we get our sugar cane in order to make the rum. Now, sugarcane has been the predominant industry on this island for over 100 years. In fact, this area is the sugar capital of the Philippines.
In this series, we'll dive deeper into the history and culture of Sugarlandia, from the historic ancestral homes of the early 20th century to the famous heritage recipes that have been handed down through the generations. From the peaks of the mighty volcano Mount Canlaon to the artisans and entrepreneurs changing the creative and business landscape. Follow us as we pull back the curtain on a place that isn't always what it seems, as we take you on a journey with tales of Sugarlandia.
What if you could be here? Where the past smiles on the future. Where you get to taste the best of the region. Where you get to meet the masters. And come together with people from all walks of life. Negros Season of Culture. It's not just an online destination, it's a celebration.
Good evening, everyone. Mayong gabi sa inyo tanan, mga kasiman mo ako, mga pamuluyo sa Negros. You know, so much has changed in the past months, and it really is exciting every time we have the opportunity to be together, even if it's just through virtual means. I am so honored in joining you tonight to celebrate what we foresee would be a new tradition for all of us. The past weeks, we have been sharing on social media the things we miss the most about Negros. The food, the arts, the music, the films, and of course, the people. And it's fitting that we are together on this day to usher in Cinco de Noviembre, the only provincial holiday in the province of Negros that celebrates the creative spirit of our local heroes who used ingenuity to subdue the Spanish conquistadores. It is the perfect time to begin the Negros Season of Culture, a festival that brings together the best of the Negrense culture. To share more about the vision of this celebration, please welcome Ms. Baba Torre and Ms. Angelica Berry.
The vision of the Negros Season of Culture is to promote cultural assets of our heritage and traditions, the unique identity of this province, and the talent of its people. We conceived of threading stories of creativity into one regional narrative, creating a platform for local, national, and global audiences to discover what makes Negros special.
We are living in an extraordinary time. In the midst of a global pandemic, in a moment of radical disruption, our messaging is focused on the future. We want to inspire hope and tap into the creative spirit that has always been part of who we are as Negrenses. We will survive this crisis if we foster a spirit of resilience and solidarity that our ancestors had, and what we hope this generation of Negrenses will carry on.
The Season of Culture is a messaging platform for a place-based brand of culture rooted in identity, speaking to the world in a universal language of arts and culture, featuring creative innovators in unique settings that tell our story, beautiful rural landscapes, and heritage homes that deserve to be preserved. We know our native cuisine has inspired so many talented chefs. We have seen film and theater geniuses like Peke Gallaga, whom we pay tribute to in our first segment, recognized internationally. We have grown up with cultural icons like the Church of the Angry Christ, which is a national heritage. Most important, we showcase people who create handicrafts, native delicacies, and local artists, ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
We will honor Peke Gallaga for inspiring so many of us to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, for teaching us to create, to express ourselves in big, bold ways that contribute to the story of this place we call home. I'll never forget how Peke staged Thornton Wilder's Our Town in Visayan on the back of flatbed trucks, taking us to remote villages that served as our moving stage. It was an extraordinary way to encounter people in small barrios and see the spark in their eyes as they listened in rapt attention to the stories we brought to them.
There are many hidden gems in the province, and we hope to bring them to life through the Negros Season of Culture. Connecting the stories embedded in this place is the message of hope we want to ignite in this challenging time. We hope everyone will join us to promote what we love about our identity, our culture, our home.
Why should arts and culture matter? I'd like to see Negros as a place where culture meets commerce. I believe that investing in creative potential develops industries vital to the cultural life of the region, creating real growth and jobs. Creative industries will define Negros as a place worthy of attention for its unique culture, affects how the rest of the world views us, and encourages people in other countries to engage with us. Our slogan, Rooted, Taking on the World, reflects this aspiration.
Abao, thank you, Gid Baba and Angie. The moment I heard about this project, I said yes to it. And we're also very thankful to Angie for restoring the Negros Museum. Thank you for her philanthropic work and being a patron of the arts. Wow, this is a perfect example of giving back. Like us, we would like to give back to Negros also. But when we say Negros, the first thing that comes to mind is sugar. We have always been grateful for the land's riches that allowed us to flourish as a vibrant community. For our first year, we focused on the values embedded within our culture that became the soul and the core of every art form we created. With this in mind, our battle cry is Rooted, Taking on the World. Originally, we had several activities planned for this year, but because of the circumstances, those plans are on hold for now. But the arts cannot be put to sleep. And so, we have created a way for all of us to enjoy and experience the Negrense culture in the digital world. So how does it work? What's there to see? I leave the digital talk to somebody who's from Negros. She's a very promising actress, a writer, a director, very pretty. And most important, my daughter, Marela Torre. Okay, Marela? Please take us to the Negros Season of Culture website.
Thanks, Dad. Good evening, guys, and viewers from around the world. And of course, to all my fellow Negrense, mayong gabi da sa inyo tanan. Kag malipayong 5 de Nobyembre. Being apart from friends and family this year definitely built me to have this paradigm shift of how the world would work in the future, and how the importance of technology comes to play with this. It proved to me that with technology, we could actually be at home, get work done, and be with our loved ones at the same time. It allowed me to have a sense of stillness, to breathe and reflect before being busy, that I personally didn't know that we all needed before this pandemic. I mean, could you imagine if COVID came in the 90s or like early 2000s where Facebook and Zoom wasn't even invented yet? Thankfully, we now have technology to aid us in being together even though we are apart. I missed out on studying film abroad and seeing my family who are based in California, as well as celebrating the holidays in my hometown, Bacolod. But since we can't travel yet, let's get together at the Negros Season of Culture website. Just go to the www.negroseasonofculture.com, and here you'll see the homepage welcome banner. So let's start with an overview of the homepage. The first thing you'll see is a preview of stories that are being shared, like I Love Negros, Living the Yaya Years, Slow Food Negros, Heritage Food Stays Afloat. This goes on a loop, but in case you want to see a particular photo again, you can use the arrows to flip through them. And now we scroll down. So you will see here the different stories under the Negros Season of Culture. Like for example, Living the Yaya Years. This article gave me a beautiful perspective on cyanotype. While the Lion year-ender activities at the Negros Museum also reminded me of the unending resilience and perspective we Ilonggos have that are rooted from our heritage. Now, further down here, you will see an overview of all the stories grouped into their respective categories, such as heritage, cultural experience, art, food, handicraft, people. And now, at the very bottom of the homepage, you will see the search bar. Just type in a keyword and that would help you find relevant stories or announcements. So let's go back to the top of the page. In this area, you'll see the specific tabs that will bring you to specific pages of the website. Let's start with About Us. Here you'll know more about the Negros Season of Culture and how it came to be and its vision. So on this side, you'll see the different social media accounts that you can follow. Please do follow all our social media accounts so you don't get to miss out on any of our updates and announcements. Now, what if you want to find a specific story? So you just go to this tab and the different categories will drop down. So you can easily access the topics you want to explore. For example, food. So, slow food Negros, heritage food stays afloat. This article shares how this pandemic is an opportunity to open the eyes of our fellow Filipinos in nurturing plants and animals that are indigenous to our country. If anything, this pandemic helped us realize that food is life and life is food. You can notice people sharing family recipes through online selling, and actually, I'm one of them. As a step to moving forward amidst this pandemic, I've decided to share one of Bacolod's best kept secret, the Black Sambo. So if you don't want to miss out, check out Mellow Jello PH. So since Christmas is just around the corner, I've really been struggling to accept that we can't give our lolos and lolas the tightest hug that I know we're all dying to have this holiday season. But for now, let's make the most of bonding online. So over here, you can see the live tab. You'll see the shows that you can watch at the moment. The Negros Season of Culture is all about bringing all the Negros festivals that we love. To know more about our partners, head over to links and these will drop down. Sugarlandia, Cine Negrense, Black Box Theater, Museum Art Encounters, and Bacolod Jazz Festival. Let's check out Tales of Sugarlandia. Here you'll see the different episodes of Ben Charlin exploring stories about heritage homes, heritage kitchens, and the mystic mountains. To be sure that you don't miss out on any of these shows that will go live, and for more updates about the other festivals, check out upcoming events. If you want to share anything with us, just click contact and you'll be brought straight to our Facebook Messenger. If you have any suggestions on what else you want to see at the site, just let us know. And that's it! We're very excited for all of you to start enjoying the website. My dad has more things to share about this. I let him get to it. For now, bye anay, kita nay takaron.
Wow, that's very informative and very enlightening. So everything you want to know about the Negros Season of Culture, please check our website, especially now that we won't be able to see each other personally. Just log into our website. As we have mentioned, the Negros Season of Culture for 2020 will include visual arts, culinary arts, theater, and film. And when we think about film, the name that comes to mind is the legend and our dear, dear friend, Peke Gallaga. I have known Peke since I was a child, from the Bacolod theater community, the Genesius Guild, onto the Mascara Theater Ensemble, and to TV like Champuy, and of course films. Peke was my teacher, my mentor, my guru, my friend, and sometimes my father. I owe my career to Peke. I wouldn't be here in my position now if it wasn't for him. You know, I remember Peke, when we were filming Oro Plata Mata, he would wave his magic wand to orchestrate and conduct about hundreds of extras, the cast, the crew, the production team in the jungles of Negros, just to get the perfect shot for his movie Oro Plata Mata. We deeply admire how Peke advocated for Negros through his work. So much so that when you visit various landmarks of Negros, you'll have flashbacks of scenes from his films. Like the Araar Falls in Gintutan is unofficially named the Oro Falls. Peke is no longer with us, but the deep mark he left on the Philippine film industry will live on. As we say, he immortalized his works. And we dedicate the first Negros season of culture to Peke Gallaga. Bravo, Peke!
You only are a little spark. You're just a little thing in this whole galaxy of ours.
If you wish to view the full version of our tribute to Peke Gallaga, please visit the Negros Season of Culture website. Aside from the Peke Gallaga tribute, we're also very excited to share a documentary on the significance, symbolism, and interpretation of Alfonso Osorio's mural, Not an Angry Christ. This film shares recent discoveries that debunks the popular moniker given to the mural. Let's have a look.
Hello, I'm Lillian Rehante Manahan. Since 2015, my restoration team and I embarked on a most interesting project, the restoration of what is documented to be the first modern church in the Philippines, which houses a treasure trove of artworks that have very interesting stories to tell. Foremost is the biggest work of Phil-Hispanic American artist Alfonso Osorio, arguably an underrated artist during his time, practically unknown in the Philippines, the country of his birth. His 160 square meter mural was interpreted differently, but as we studied it more carefully, we now see it in a different light. Rather than just the obvious initial reaction that labeled it the angry Christ.
I've seen that mural since I was a kid at the Victoria's Milling Company. And I just realized now it's so massive. And I've heard stories how they restored it. It was so painstaking that they had to perfect the color and the hue of the original paint. Now, that's very detailed work. Again, bravo, Alfonso Osorio. You know, these are just some of the virtual travels you can experience at the Negros Season of Culture. Also inviting you to join us in our digital means to share our arts and history is the Governor of Negros Occidental, Governor Eugenio Jose Lacson.
Greetings! At the start of the year, when the possibility of a pandemic advanced to an inevitable certainty, one thing was clear: the entire world was not prepared for COVID-19. When lockdowns and community quarantines were imposed in an effort to contain the spread of COVID-19, economies, as one would expect, started to slump. In my MOA signing with dthe Secretary and former Senator Gregorio Honasan on the Negros Occidental public free Wi-Fi and provincial broadband, I said that the new normal will lead us to new sets of behaviors, perspectives, approaches, and even resilience in the face of a novel virus, an economy which needs to be recovered, and an educational system which need to digitalize. Notwithstanding the other daunting concerns we were facing before COVID-19, given our novel reality, the strategic partnership between the government and the private sector, and the need to innovate to meet humanity's multifaceted needs are indispensable. Being the sugar bowl of the Philippines, our province is known, as the title suggests, sugar. But more than just sugar, we are known for our rich natural resources, heritage homes and cuisine, handicrafts, culture, and of course, our genteel people. Given that physical distancing is the new norm for an indefinite period of time, we need to conceive and reinvent ways on how to rebuild international and national interest in our province, not just for the Negrenses all over the world, but for everyone else. A heritage and culture such as ours need to be discovered, rediscovered, and shared to the entire world. The Negros season of culture is a timely and opposite platform where we can show the world that Negros is the place where you can succeed if you try, where a healthy economy can advance by what we make and innovate, this time in digital platform. To the organizers, congratulations for this pioneering project. To the Angelica Berry Foundation, thank you for your indispensable support. Times may be challenging, but with our faith in God and the indomitable Negrense spirit, we shall overcome. God bless us all. Avance, Negrense.
Thank you, Governor Lacson. As Marela showed us earlier, the website also has a calendar of events and festivals, so you can plan your visit to Negros and experience the land of surprises, of happy memories, and of cultural awakenings.
With this, we hope to transition safely to a new era of adventures without leaving behind the values and traditions that we love. I am Marela Torre, and it was nice chatting with you earlier. Let's chat again later!
I'm Joel Torre, and once again,
Welcome to the Negros Season of Culture.
Damoy salamat sa inyo. Dali na kabuti!
What if you could be here? Where the past smiles on the future. Where you get to taste the best of the region. Where you get to meet the masters. And come together with people from all walks of life. Negros Season of Culture. It's not just an online destination, it's a celebration.